Hello, welcome to episode 139 of the Epic Film Challenge 2001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. We're going to do a double bill from one director over the next two videos, and that director is Amy Heckerling. And 2 days ago, you say the name to me, Amy Heckerling, I'd be like, who? Who? No idea. Turns out she's directed a lot of films that I have really liked over the years, such as the Look Who's Talking movies, one of my favourite Michael Keaton comedies, Johnny Dangerously, and the two films we're going to talk about that are in the book. Now, I don't think there are that many female directors whose films are in the book. I mean, I'm sure there's quite a few, but there's probably not that many, really. And so I'd be intrigued to kind of get to the end of it and see if there's any female directors who have more than one film in the book. But she has two, and they kind of cover two consecutive decades. The film we're about to talk about, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, being the 80s, and then the next one is more of a 90s film, and they're both teen movies. Fast Times at Ridgemont High I'd heard about, you know, one of those kind of teen movies you hear about growing up, but never got around to seeing it. So we just watched it literally just then, like 10 minutes ago, and it has a really interesting cast when you look at it now, because there's a lot of people who went on to be bigger names, and then there's people who didn't really go on to be bigger names. There's a guy in the film, what's his character's name? The guy with the deep voice, you know, the kind of...
Tim or...
I forget the guy's name.
Jim or
right.
something like that.
He's the guy who's always sorting out concert tickets for people. If you've seen the movie, he's got kind of a deep voice that doesn't really match his appearance. I really liked him in the film. I thought he was great. Ugh. But he seemed like someone who, like, I recognise him. Surely he went on to do...
Yeah, I've seen him before.
I checked his filmography. He hasn't really done much at all. He didn't seem to go on to have a bigger career than this, from what I've seen anyway. I mean, I hadn't heard of any of the films he's been in over the past 30 years. This came out in 1982, I believe. And then you have someone like Jennifer Jason Leigh, who went on to do, you know, great things. Phoebe Cates, who would go on to be in Gremlins.
That the friend?
Huh?
Yeah, alright, yeah.
She went to do Gremlins and...
It's the girlfriend, right?
Yeah, and again, I was reading up about her, not to kind of get off onto random stuff, but she married Kevin Kline. I was like, what? Like, she's married to Kevin Kline, and she just left acting in the middle of the 90s, and that's it. So it's just these weird things. You have Nicolas Cage in a 1 second...
Did you check that was him, though?
It was,
like,
yeah, it's him. It's definitely him. Nicolas Cage is in the movie for 1 second. He's flipping burgers in the back of this thing, and I'm just like, that's Nicolas Cage. Surely he'll be in it later on, but he wasn't. So this.
I think he was dancing as well in the...
He might have been at the dance at the end, yeah. And then you have Sean Penn, who was top billed in this film, and you know, very young Sean Penn with like long blonde hair, and he was probably, I think, the best part of the film, as this kind of...
I didn't recognise him.
This kind of stoner surfing dude. Just a great performance. But you know, it's a teen movie.
And
kids in high school.
The big brother.
The big brother.
He's
oh,
big
Judge Reinhold. Yeah, he won. I guess he. I don't know. I feel like his career was still kind of at its peak in the 80s, I suppose, and stuff like Beverly Hills Cop and.
90s as well.
What did he do in the 90s?
I don't know, but he was in TV shows and stuff.
Sure. Well, I guess a lot of people
huge.
moved over to TV as well.
Even in the beginning of the 2000s, he was still doing TV shows.
Anyway, that's just talking about the cast. The film is a typical teen film, really. What I find interesting is that obviously Amy Heckerling was the director, but it was written by Cameron Crowe, who's one of my favourite directors and writers. And this was before he was a director, I suppose. And he wrote a book, apparently, and then did the screenplay for the book. And this is how the film came about. I really, really liked it. I think it was a great teen movie. It had, for me, it kind of had that good, I think it was good. A good amount of sex, in the way that, you know, teenagers, their lives do revolve around sex. But it didn't push that point so far into your face that it became a bit like, oh yeah, we get it, you know.
It had a good amount of sex.
Not the, I just think that some teen movies, they push it too far. Yeah. Some don't include it at all, and so you feel like, wow, they'd be talking about this kind of stuff, you know. I just feel like it was a realistic amount that was, you know, and I did have to check how old Jennifer Jason Leigh was, because her character's 15 in the movie, and you get to see her tits, and I was like, that's a bit uncomfortable if she was actually 15. She was actually 20, I think. Oh, sorry.
Breasts.
Her breasts, her boobs, her...
I don't think I've ever, in the 7 years I've known you, I've never heard you say tits.
You have plenty of times.
No.
Yes, I'm sure I've even said it in a video somewhere, because I remember saying it at some point in a video. Anyway, I felt better reading that she was actually, I think, 20 at the time of making the film.
Yeah, she looked like 20 or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, there's a scene in the beginning where she's like going out with this older guy. A character's supposed to be 15. I was like, it's a bit sketchy. Anyway, right, what did you think of the film?
It was okay.
Because I mean, there's not much to go into with the plot. It's, you know, relationships, characters liking other characters, going through the motions of a school year, and the things that come up and things like that. And
I just feel like I've seen that movie like 10 other times in different movies.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe I should take into consideration that it is from '82.
Yeah.
But
it's before a lot of those ones. I mean, it's before films like Breakfast Club and things like that, and it's early '80s, but. I really liked it.
It was just okay to me.
It was just okay to you, that's fine. I really liked the characters, you know, despite going like, oh, it's him, oh, it's her. I just thought that it was really enjoyable. I really liked it. I definitely would watch it again. It was funny. You know, I liked the last act of the film, because there's a couple of characters who get kind of in a personal tiff, and I liked how that played out. I thought it was nicely done. The dispute between the two friends, the guys, you know, and the girl. It's kind of a bit of a love triangle, and I liked how that resolved itself, and it had moments of humour, moments of kind of, you know, yeah, it was nice. It was just nicely done, and fun. But that's all I can really say about it. I mean, it captures that kind of '80s thing. They have like the arcade machines and stuff. Forrest Whitaker in the film, in a brief role, but a memorable one as well. But yeah, I think Sean Penn steals the show as Spicoli. You know, just really funny. His character
I was so surprised that was him.
He did such a great job of portraying that kind of character, because I knew people like that in school. Obviously, without the kind of, you know, American accent and stuff and the surfer dude image, but just the stoner kid in school. Like, he just perfectly seemed to sum that up. Although I can't say anyone got away with ordering pizza into class in school.
You didn't know.
Well, I know, but I mean, it got through the door. And it reminded me of when I was in high school, some of the people in my class were trying to campaign to have the rules changed in school so that we could chew chewing gum during class. And they're like, no, seriously, think about it, man, because like you concentrate better when you're chewing gum, you know. And like it became this whole thing when I was in school, and it just reminded me of that when he ordered the pizza into the thing. He's like, yeah, I'm just having some food and learning about history. So that triggered.
Made me really want to have pizza.
Yeah.
But I always want pizza.
A decent soundtrack, you know, it was of its time and well directed. Yeah, really good film. Is it a film you should see before you die?
No.
Yeah, I think it's a definite no. But I really liked it. You know, I would probably rate.
Okay.
I'd rate it quite highly. I think I enjoyed it more than you. But
I think you did too.
Yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great.
Yeah. And I have to say, it's weird how like sometimes you can't get into these classic scenes in films without kind of being, how can I word this? The scene where Phoebe Cates gets out of the pool and opens her bra in slow motion.
Oh, that's why you liked it so much.
No, it's not actually. In Family Guy, they lampoon this scene, and it's really funny. But I hadn't seen the film before, so I was just thinking about Family Guy.
Me too. I was just picturing Meg and the newscast guy.
So that's what made me laugh about it. So it's funny when you see these kind of, maybe not iconic scenes, but it's certainly a classic scene from the 80s. That's the only
scene I recognise.
Yeah. So again, it's interesting when you see these scenes, but your only kind of knowledge of it is when it's been taken the piss out of. Yeah, it was a good film, but not really an essential, I don't think. I mean, as far as 80s teen movies go, if you're going to say what 80s teen movie should you see before you die, yeah, it'd probably be up there, you know. But it's overall, I can see why it's there, I suppose, but no, just no. So, anything else to add, really?
No, I don't see why it's in the book.
Yeah, and then the next one we'll be talking about
definitely doesn't deserve to be in the book.
Well, don't spoil it. I mean, come on, build up some suspense.
I'm not saying which one it is.
Well, it'll be the next video, yeah, we'll get to that. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
They'll be curious now. What movie is it?
Oh, yeah.
You will see.
Hook 'em in. So, right, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.